So I wanted to show you guys a new app actually on my iPhone. I've been using this phone. This is the iPhone 5 more and more now for just doing some video recording outside the house. Before I would either use my SLR camera or I have one of the Sonys, which is the camera that's recording on this guy right here, little Sony Handycam. But this of course is always with you. Now, the only thing that I find, and I'll show you here, is that even though it does have, I believe, a bit of a stabilizer in it, I don't find it to be fantastic. So if I were to turn this, and I'm screen recording this too on my other monitor, so you can see that my room's just, this room's a mess, just bear with me. If you record here, one of the things that I find is that it does do a fair bit of hunting. You may not see it too much here, but there's like, it's auto exposing, which, you know, for most parts is fine. But it's still got a fair bit of shake, even with the stabilizer on it. And it's a pretty plain Jane camera. So anyway, I found this really cool app called, and let me just exit out of the camera app here. Let me flick through these. Should be on my last page. Alright, it's right here. So this is Filmic. So right now, if you go onto the Apple Store, or the App Store, you'll find Filmic Classic, which is for older iPhones, so iPhone 4s, anything pre-iOS 6, I believe they say. Filmic Pro, which right now is kind of the current one, and you'll see I have something called Filmic Pro 2. Now, I don't know if they're making Filmic Pro 2 anymore. I think they've just kind of all brought it down into Filmic Pro. Filmic Pro 2 was the newest one, but for some reason it's not on the App Store anymore. So, I'm going to actually launch Filmic Pro. So, there's some email that you'll see coming through. One of the things that I really like, and if you look at the bottom here, you actually see it shows that I'm doing 24 frames right now. If I click, it's hard for you to see it. I'm going to go back and forth. There's a little settings button there. It looks like the little gear at the bottom corner, on the bottom of the screen. If I click that, you'll actually get a little bit of presets. So there's 24p, 25, 30, super slow-mo, all the way up to time-lapse. You can create your own customs, which is cool. Are you going to be using a front or back camera? Real processing, orientation, so do you want it to flip? Or, this is where I kind of like this software. It allows you to actually lock these things, right? So if you said, no, I only want the home button to always be, for me, you know, most people would have it actually on the left, because then your volume rockers become your shutter buttons. So you could actually turn that, so no matter how you actually swiveled your camera up and down, it would stay in that orientation, which is kind of nice. Resolution, of course, this is an iPhone 5, so it goes all the way up to the full 1080. But you'll also see that it does 960 through 1080, and 2 of those in iframe. So iframe is kind of cool if you do a lot of stuff on a Mac. Going down, we have preview, so full screen. Do you want your zoom enabled? Image stabilizer. Now I'm going to show you, and that's one of the reasons I shot the video before on just a normal iPhone app, but this stabilizer on here is fantastic. 35mm flip, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it reverses, so upside down, so if you actually shot like a 35mm, it would be reversed. GPS tagging, if you want that, actually I usually do, so I'm going to turn it on, so you get the standard. It would like to use your location. Oops, I'll go back here. Scroll back down again. So I'm going to kind of come down a little bit further. I like these overlays. One of the ones I really like, yes, you can have your audio meter, which I have on. A thirds guide, rule of thirds, of course. Framing guide and matte. Now I don't usually turn my matte on, but because I matte in software, if I'm going to do like an extended or extra super wide, but I do like the framing guide, and you'll see if I turn that on. So if I go to like the 235 by 1. I'm going to click that on. You'll notice it doesn't seem to do anything yet. But if I close this for a second, you will see that there's these two little lines near the top and the bottom, which is kind of showing you where that letterbox would be. So you can make sure that you frame within it. So very cool. To go back, I'm going to go back down here again. My next one, well, these are all your titlings. So for your little, you know, scene 1, take 2, blah, blah, blah. But here's my favorite, is the advanced encoding. Video, I believe standard is actually the default, what Apple would be using on theirs. But you can actually go all the way up to 50 megabits. So if you're doing anything that requires keying, you may notice that that helps considerably. Also, you have audio. So you have 44 and 48 hertz, but both compressed and uncompressed. So you can match it up with other cameras depending on what they're using as well. So that's also quite cool. So I'm actually going to switch this. No, I'm not. 48 compressed, fine, works good for me. But I am using the 50 megabit per second video, which again, awesome. So here's your screen. So here's a few things. So on the bottom left-hand corner, and I'm just going to kind of sit right here. First thing is say you find a spot that you liked, and you're like, yeah, you know what, that's exactly my focus distance. Well, I can actually click once you focus. I can click that, and you'll see it goes red. That means focus is locked. So no matter where I go, down here, it's not going to try to reset focus because I've locked my focus back to here, which is good. Also, the next one over would be exposure. So if I knew I was going to be creeping over here, that's what these are like. I can move this around because this is my focus spot. This one, of course, would be my zoom spot. Sorry, focus spot. And this would be exposure. Hopefully you can hear me when I turn around. Anyway, if I was there and I wanted to set my exposure so it was good, once I found that right exposure, I could hit that one, which goes red. And as well, this is nice and white. So because of that, I'm going to actually lock my white balance. Now the next one, which is a light bulb, is going to, of course, turn on the LED on the back of the camera. Next to across is the film, which allows you to go and review the shots that you've done, and then the settings. Now your other one you'll see down here is your battery indicator, which shows you how much battery you have. Your hard drive indicator, which is going to show you how much hard drive space you have left on your device. Anyway, the other thing that's really cool is these guys. And you'll see this 1, 2, 3, and a plus and minus. Now, the plus and minus, pretty obvious. I'm going to take that focus lock off so I can refocus here. And it should focus. So there we go. We got to focus there, I think. Now you'll see I'm zoomed in a little bit. But you also see that there's on the zoom, which is that little red button. You can see I can go up and down. So it zooms in and out. You can see it go up and down. There. Okay. Now that has been assigned to one of these buttons. So it's probably 1. So 1 goes to it. Now if I click and hold the 1, it'll disappear. So there's my little airport over in the corner. And let's say that I wanted to start off with my shot nice and wide. So I get out here, I click and hold the 1, I get a little line. Now I do this pre-recording, right? I find my little happy spot, I come in, I'm like, oh, I want to be able to come into about there, I'm going to come into 2, set that one, and then the very final, I'm going to come in real close to about there, and that's going to be my major zoom. So, basically, if I hit the 1 now, it'll automatically, slowly, I'm not doing anything, slowly come back out, which is pretty awesome. I can hit the 3, she'll zoom all the way back in. You can see the slider. Or if I get mid and I'm like, oh, wrong 2, she'll come back up to the 2 spot, which is awesome that you can actually set those focus spots. The other thing I wanted to show you, just so you can see, is the actual stabilizer on this. I'm going to zoom back out. So all the way back out here. And just kind of move around. And you'll actually notice, if you get this app, that there's almost like a little bit of delay as the stabilizer is trying to stabilize as it moves. But I have found that I get much more stable shots than I would normally. It's got a great little stabilizer in it. Plus, you know, if you're shooting stuff a little bit more professionally, maybe you shouldn't be using an iPhone. But if you are, then it's nice to be able to lock that exposure like I have, right? So if I come over here, you'll see that my window is completely blown out, which it should. And as I come back in, my exposure stays nice and solid, which is pretty awesome. So yeah. So that is Filmic Pro. Awesome little piece of software. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's fantastic, and hope you guys like it. Try it out.